Hi guys! Today is going to be a much shorter video than usual, just because there's not a whole lot to talk about with this book. Mrs. Frisby and the Rats of NIMH. I was first introduced to the series when I was a lot younger. I don't know which parent it was. I think it was my dad, because my dad likes it a lot more than my mom, but they bought me the Secret of NIMH, the movie, the first movie that came out in the 80s, and I loved it because it was talking mice and I was like 7, whatever. I don't know, I really loved it. I was probably 18 or maybe 19 when I discovered that there was a second one, and I went to whatever store and bought the package, the set of 2, the first one and the second movie, and got rid of the first movie because it was just on DVD. And then I don't know when, but at some point along the lines I saw this book. I'm not sure if I saw it at the library or if it was like a recommendations on Goodreads or something, but somehow I discovered the book and I was like, I have to read the book. This is the first one in a 3-part series. Robert C. O'Brien wrote the first one, Mrs. Frisby and the Rats of NIMH. And his daughter wrote the next 2. I'm really excited for those. I do plan on reading them in the future. But let's talk about the book first. Mrs. Frisby is obviously the main character. She has 4 children. She has Timothy, who gets very sick. Teresa is the oldest. I guess in human years, she'd be approaching teenage years. Martin is the oldest boy, and he's very much boy's boy. Like, he runs and plays and activities, and he's the man of the house. And Cynthia is the youngest, and she's this kind of little prissy girl. But Timothy gets sick at the very beginning, and I think he gets pneumonia. And they're mice. They don't have, like, medicines and doctors, so they do the next best thing. And, they try and keep him all bundled up. So Mrs. Frisby goes to, like, the nearest doctor kind of person, Mr. Ages. He's an older mouse, but he's not, like, really old in the movie. They portray him as, like, this really old, about to die kind of character, but, she goes to see him, and he gives her some medicine, and he's like, you can't move him for a couple of weeks. He needs time to rest, and he needs to be completely healed before you move for, it's winter time, and they gotta move to their summer house. And, the plows are gonna come through the garden. So they can't stay there, and she's really concerned. She's like, well, hopefully the ground will, stay frozen and the guy won't plow the field and we'll be good. Such is not the case. So she notices one day that the farmer is taking his plow out of the garage, barn, whatever thing that he keeps it in, and has attached the plow to the front, and he's like getting ready to go. And she freaks out. She's like, I don't know what to do. On her way back from Mr. Ages' like house, place, laboratory thing, she comes across a crow who is stuck in some string of some kind, and the cat is getting ready to kill him. She goes over and chews through the string, and, they escape with their lives, barely. So he agrees to help her, get some information about the moving of her house. There's an owl who's, like, super wise, and he's like, okay, I'll fly you over to the owl and you can ask the owl. And she's, of course, freaking out, because, owls eat mice. But she gets there, and he tells her, go to the rats that live over in the rose bush over there. So she goes over to the rats, and she manages to corral their help. But the Rats of NIMH, NIMH is just like a scientific laboratory where they use rats for experimentation. And that's pretty much all I can say before things get weird. So Mrs. Frisby is, of course, the matriarch of her family. Her husband has died. And then there's Jeremy the Crow, who just kind of has a life debt to her. Then there's the rats, and there are a few main rats. We already talked about Mr. Ages, which is just really the mouse doctor scientist of the area. The first rat that you meet is Brutus, and he is just a guard. He's one of like the big, giant, hulking, muscular rats. And then there's Justin, who's kind of like the head commander of the guards. The main rat, that like the overarching rat, is Nicodemus. And in the movie, he's like the creepiest rat you've ever seen in your life, and he's also really old. And that's pretty much it. You now know everything about this book. If you've seen the movie, then you know what happens in the book. It follows along pretty well. I do like the writing style a lot. I enjoy Robert C. O'Brien a lot. Book to movie adaptation. Storyline, as far as storyline goes, it's really good. I mean, it's a movie, so it kind of tries to make things a little bit more exciting, but the plot is spot on. The age of the mice and the rats I had a problem with from the movie, because in the movie they make them all older, and that's not the case. And my last issue is Jenner. In the movie, Jenner is like this really big important character. In the book, he is talked about for like 5 minutes. In the movie, he sabotages their efforts to move her house and help her save her children. But in the book, he is gone. He's not there at all. He's just this guy that left. He's a deserter. I can't find anything wrong with this book. I love this book a lot. And I love the movie a lot. I gave it 5 out of 5 stars because I liked it a lot. I really did. I do plan on purchasing it because I think this is a great story. So yeah, 5 out of 5 on Goodreads. Really enjoyed it a lot. Totally recommend it. It is technically a children's book, but I think even adults would like it. I mean, it's really good. So thank you for watching. All my links are down below, and I've got Goodreads and my blog and a whole bunch of other stuff on there. Please like for more videos and subscribe for more videos. I will always take book suggestions. Please comment and let me know if you've watched the movie or read Mrs. Frisby and the Secret of NIMH, or in the Rats of NIMH. And let me know how you liked it. Even if you didn't like it, I'd still like to hear your opinion and see what you felt was wrong with it. I'm curious. I just want to know. But anyway, so I will see you again next week with one of these ones.